Good afternoon, everybody. We're here on the job. The plan for today is to install a new water filter and get rid of some PVC that runs over as the main line coming in. Owner's afraid of that breaking off. I don't blame them, and we'll get that switched over, put the new filter in, and we'll be out of here. Okay, here is the can of worms that we are getting into today. As you can see, it's PVC coming up. This is a on-demand style well pump, so when the water gets used, there's not actually a big standing tank of water. The pressure drops pretty quickly and the pump comes on pretty much immediately, and then it's on consistently until the water is shut off and pressure comes back up. But for today, we have to install this canister filter and get rid of the PVC. While I'm here, I am also going to get rid of the shark bite fittings because I'm not a fan of those. Okay, first things first, let's water pump's over here. Let's go over to the electrical panel here and shut our power off. Now I will double check this before I dig into stuff. I just want to make sure that, especially because this is a constant supply water pump, that when I break into the water lines, that it's not going to come on and start spraying water all over the place on me. I shouldn't have to touch the power side of things, so this is more just to make sure that that pump stays off. I'm going to guess that WP means water pump. It's not really marked very well, so I will shut that off and then go and double check our power at the pump. Alright, so we have our electrical meter set to volts on AC, and we'll come up here and pull our cover off. Let me try and get the leads here together. Alright, I got the leads with one hand here. Let's see, our power coming in is going to be this leg here. Let's see if it'll focus for me. So our power coming in is on this leg here. So we want this black wire and the white wire, so the two outside wires. Touch those like that. Come down here, and we're showing 1/4 of a volt, so that looks pretty dead to me. I'm happy with that. Okay, so here's the layout. We're going to end up taking it from there, spinning that, and running polyethylene. That will come up into this 90. It will kind of loop up and into the 90 there, into an insert fitting here, and that insert fitting will go on this side of this expansion tank setup. That's going to get shifted over. Then from the other side, that will lead into this T here, which is a 1 by 3/4 inch T, which will branch off to this ball valve up here, and the 1 inch run will just continue straight through to this ball valve here, which will then continue through, pick up the filter, run through. We'll have a 1 inch union on this side with a 3/4 inch ball valve. On the other side of that will be a 3/4 inch T, which will pick up the other side of this ball valve up here, which will allow for a bypass of the filter if it's ever needed. If something happens to this filter but water is still needed regardless, you can shut this valve off, isolate the filter, turn on your bypass, and you'll be able to supply water out to the house. We'll then take this boiler drain here, set that up between the union and the ball valve, so when you shut it off, you have a way to drain the pressure out of the filter so that you can actually take the housing off. We will then come around the corner, have a 3/4 by 1/2 T to pick up the outside hose faucet, and then the rest will just go up and we'll make up the offsets here with whatever fittings we need. But that's going to be the general layout here. All right, everybody. So for the people that can't really visualize too well, this is what that layout ends up looking like. We replaced the plastic nylon 90 coming out of the floor here with a brass one, brought it across. We put a clamp in here, swept it up 90 into this side. We reused the check valve because there was really nothing wrong with that. Came across 1 by 3/4 T, takes off, goes over for the bypass. 1-inch ball valve comes into our sediment filter. We then have our union so that this can be removed and serviced if ever need be. We have our bleed drain so that the pressure can be taken off when the sediment filter is isolated. So these two valves usually will remain on to the house so that the flow goes through the filter and the bypass is off. We also have it backfed to the hose faucet out here. Now, when you go to service the filter, you shut these two off, isolate it, open this up, take the pressure off, you can remove the canister. If something were to happen where you couldn't get this to reseal and it just wanted to leak, you could leave these off, turn the bypass on, and then the flow will still go out to the house and they will still have water. Next up, we will turn on the breaker and test all of this out. All right, so we're off here and we are off there. So when I turn it on, we should pressurize just this section here. We will then have to put the filter we'll then have to put the filter cartridge in, tighten that up. I tightened the union and doped that already, and then we can liven up the system, check our joints up here, check our joints everywhere else, and hopefully we'll be good to go. So, all right. right, without further ado, I will flip this on. And we'll come over here, coming up to pressure, and so far I don't see anything. We're almost up. That is really going up high, so I'm going to shut that off real quick. Well, I did hear it click, but that's like 75 pounds, which is kind of way high if you ask me. And it satisfied the pressure switch by the end there, as soon as I shut that breaker off. But those things usually pop off right around 75 pounds, so. Not sure. I might turn that down just a little bit. Of course, who knows, it could be one of these on-demand pumps, then maybe they go up a little higher. I don't know. I really haven't worked on a whole lot of them, to be quite honest. But anyway, let's put that filter cartridge in. Okay, so I don't have any pressure on there right now. Pull that off. Here is our O-ring. Take some silicone grease. Kind of feels like it's already greased up a little bit, but I'm just going to coat it in some silicone grease just to be safe here. And that goes, it sits right up in here. There's kind of like a little groove that it sits in. Not a big one, but a couple shoulders on either side. That just sits down in here. There's a couple shoulders that it sits on. And look at this guy. That's a cartridge for you. So, pull this guy out. And we will drop it in, just like so. And then we'll put it up in the housing. We'll just snug it up. And then we'll turn this. Okay, so now we'll just turn this ball valve on. We'll have this off. We'll keep this ball valve off, so then we just pressurize this little section in the housing. Everything is up to pressure there. And I know that know I didn't do anything to this, but I'm going to turn this high limit down just a little bit, because actually it's turned down as far as it can go, really. Alright, so let's turn both down, I guess. Just don't like how high that is. So we shut off just above 70 pounds there. I guess that's what it was at, so, and everything seems to be holding. All right, okay, so we're up to pressure. It's on now, so once I turn things on, it will start running. Bypass is holding here. We're holding pressure to here, through here, the union's holding, and we're holding up to this ball valve here. So now, we'll turn the house on. Lots of air. I think I might have the kitchen sink on, so I will go shut that off. That'll bleed the air out. It also helped drain this back. And we'll get that pressure up. Okay, I think the kitchen sink should be getting shut off any moment now. Looks like that is the case. We're up to just over 70 pounds again. Run the outside faucet. Make sure we have no leaks there. It looks like we do not. We'll shut it off for the winter. Now it's just time to clean everything up. Fun, fun. Alrighty, everybody. This is all done. We're all picked up and cleaned up in here. I just ran through one more cycle, came up to pressure, and I see no drips or dribbles anywhere, so we should be good to go. Alrighty, everybody. That will do it for us today. That all went together pretty well. Clearly have to do this door, reset it. Finally got to use the lights again. It's dark out, and this was a later evening. So with that, everything is in. It's nice and level, plumb. Their filter is in. The expansion tank is moved over, so everything is nice and well mounted, secured to the wall very well. Because there's a decent amount of weight there, especially with that sediment filter being filled with water. Anyway, I thought it went pretty well. We didn't have any leaks at all, which is always nice to be able to hit that on the first try. If you liked this video and you got something out of it, please remember to leave a like down below. If you saw anything or thought you might do it a little bit differently, please leave that in the comments below. Also, let me know what you think about these on-demand pumps. Do you like them? Do you not? And is it pretty typical for them to go up to 75 pounds? I don't know. But everything seems to be working all right. So don't forget, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That really helps out. That way you won't miss us on the next video, and we can catch you then. So until then, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.